Lewis, a very warm welcome to Blackburn Rovers. How excited are you to be here?
Yeah, buzzing. Obviously, kind of drove through that entrance, and obviously looking at the buildings, and I don't know, I could kind of just soak in, and it was such a realisation moment for me and my dad, because we both come that well, like in the championship. So obviously it's a massive club with great history, and I'm just buzzing to be here.
Did you get that immediate sort of excitement the minute you sort of pulled up and you looked and you thought, oh yeah, this is right for me?
Of course. Obviously I rocked up and there was you four staring cameras at me. I was like, oh right, here we go. But yeah, no, it was class, and yeah, I was been speaking with Rudy, and he's just kind of emphasised that this is the right place to be, and I really like where this club's planning on going, and yeah, just once again, just so excited to be here.
Just give us an idea then about how the move has progressed and your feelings throughout that process.
Yeah, obviously, we qualified for World Cup first of all for Australia. So after that, kind of everything was kind of going in my favour. I got in contact with a few clubs from England, and once kind of Blackburn and Rudy got me on the phone, it was kind of a done deal. They just, like I said, with their plans and where they want this club to go, and with the quality that they have in this squad, the depth they have in this squad, it just fills me with confidence to think that we can get to playoffs and obviously, hopefully get promoted, obviously, because at the end of the day, that's what we're all playing football for, to win and to get to the next level.
So why was this the right time for you to move, and then why this club as well?
Obviously, I'm 24, and I feel like every kid's fantasy is obviously to play in the Premier League, and obviously from Australia, football is not exactly what you call the biggest sport out there. So getting to the championship was definitely on my list. It's one of the things I have to tick up if I want to get to where I want to get to, and knowing how big of a club Blackburn is, and their goals, and where I know they can be and where they have been in the past. They have that experience and that knowledge of playing at the top flight. So that's just why I'm super excited to be here, and like I said, hope we can get to where we want to get to this year.
So how aware are you of the history of this football club then?
I know you won it in 1994, 95, and that's the main thing that I need to know, right? When we won. So hopefully the next year will be in 2 years' time when we get promoted this year, but in the next year. But we'll see what happens, right?
You mentioned that obviously football isn't the main sport in Australia, so why was it the sport for you?
Well, my family's actually a basketball family, so yeah, I'm not exactly sure why I turned to football, but I think just at a young age, it was just one of those sports that everyone in my friend group was playing, and obviously it brought me a lot of joy, just a very social thing, and then obviously I made it to some academies where a few of my friends didn't. And from there, I kind of just took it seriously, and ever since then, look, I've grown about 2 foot. I used to be a small, fat kid, so yeah, look, everything's kind of just been going my way so far, and I plan on keeping that going. And yeah, I'm so glad I am in football and where I am now.
Was it always Europe and always England?
Oh
That's
yeah,
the goal
100%.
for you, and why was that?
It was just, like I said, it's always been the Premier League for me. Like, I always watched it. I've always gone up early to watch the games. And just watching the quality of footballs, the personas, and how entertaining it was. And the Premier League, it was always my goal, realistically, if I need to get to where I want to get to, I have to work on my craft, obviously, but then get to England and work our way up through the ranks. And lucky enough, obviously, it took a little detour to Scotland, but now I'm now where I want to be, and yeah, it's just a matter of doing everything I can to get to where I want to get to.
You've had a spell in the UK, as you mentioned, in Scotland there. How good a grounding do you feel that might be in terms of what to expect in football in the Championship?
Oh, 100%. Obviously, Scotland's a very intense league, so it's very chaotic, and you get barely any time on the ball, and I think that kind of correlates to the Championship, because I've watched a few games, and there's a lot of quality, but it's the intent and the passion. Each game is kind of just unmatched. So it's definitely a place where I can see myself growing the most, and I'm glad I can grow at this club. And like I said, yeah, I'm just super, super excited.
Do you feel it will be a step up, and does that challenge to sort of grow sort of individually as well as part of the group excite you?
Oh, of course. Like I said, of course it's going to be a challenge, but I've also had a vast amount of experience with international games, playing qualifiers with thousands and thousands of people watching against high oppositions. So I'm not out of my depth. I know exactly what I've been brought in to do and what I can do for this club, and you best believe that I will do it.
How big an incentive is that World Cup that you mentioned earlier in terms of what you're looking to achieve this season at club level to perhaps help with those goals as well?
Of course, yeah. Like, obviously, internationally, I've been playing really well in the past few camps. We were lucky enough to qualify for the World Cup in Canada and USA. So, obviously it's the biggest competition in football, and all eyes will be on you. And like I said, if I can bring that attraction to this club as well, it's just going to be positive for both sides. And like I said, it's just massive club, buzzing to be here.
Tell us a little bit about yourself as a player. How would you describe yourself?
Super energetic, passionate, maybe a little bit aggressive, and I will give absolutely everything to get 3 points. It's at the end of the day, that's if you go out there, you got to break a few things, do whatever you can to win the game. And I will have a tendency of getting forward at every single possession. So I'm going to be up and down that line, and just been doing everything I possibly can for this club.
I've got a feeling the supporters are going to love you straight away when you say things like that.
You hope so. Like I said, I'm doing it for myself, but I know that if I play my game and I can help the team do what I do best and help the team win, then I know that everything else will follow. That
mentality sounds like a typical Aussie sports person as well.
I know. Well, I'm glad. Like I said, it's good to see that there's been quite a few Aussies that have come over here and done well. And like you said before, Lucas Neal and Brett Edmonton have obviously been here, and obviously great role models for me. Very similar positions. So, like I said, hopefully I'm the next big Aussie name at this club. So we'll have to wait and find out.
I was going to say they were both right backs, so they played right back in their time here as well. When you were sort of growing up, were you watching them play for?
Well, I was a late bloomer when it comes to football. Like I say, because Australia is such a diverse country with so many different sports that you specialise in. So I was always a swimmer when I was a bit younger because I was quite broad. But look, now I keep up to date with everything and all the Aussies abroad. And like I said, I think we're all heading in the right direction, and I think there's a massive growth for Australians now, especially because there's been a lot of young ones that have been put on the big stage and championship. There's a few boys that went to SPFL as well, and kind of here and abouts everywhere. So I think Australian football is looking quite good as well.
You touched up before on the future of this football club as well. How excited are you by what's been said about the direction the club wants to go in? And does that sort of really align with what you want as well?
Oh, of course. Like I said, everyone's goal in the championship is to get to the playoffs and get promoted at the end of the day. And I know that obviously last year you guys just missed out, but I've watched some previous games before. I was keeping up to date with everything, and I just think that the way that you played and the intensity at which you played at, you were unfortunate at times. And I think a different season, different times, different consequences, you could be right there. So, like I said, I'm just hoping to help you guys, just push you just over the edge.
Have you done the research then in terms of how the team plays? Have you spoken to Val yet and got an idea of what he wants from?
I've been on one call with them. Obviously, he made it clear of what he wanted. Intense guy, and he knows exactly what he wants. He'll tell you what to do, and he's a great figure, a great leading figure, because he's going to get me to listen because he's a big bloke. So yeah, whatever he wants, whatever I need to do to please him and to get 3 points and play a certain way that he wants to play, that's what I'll do. And I know that obviously if everyone's cooperative together and we play the way that he wants to play, then we'll get 3 points.
You sound like quite a character as well. You're going to make yourself known within the dressing room. Would that be fair?
Well, I just say what's on my mind. There's a bit of a lack of filter in my head, which is probably the problem. But like I said, yeah, I'm just me, and I'll continue to stay myself.
Are those supporters we mentioned before, how excited are you? Because we're getting very, very close to the start of the season now. We're actually sort of running out at Ewood Park and playing in front of them and showing them what you can do.
Yeah, I'm so excited to walk. I obviously haven't been to the stadium yet, which is one thing that I'm very eager to do. But yeah, it's usually always breathtaking when you walk through the tunnel, step outside, and you just see your fans wearing your home kit, just supporting you, scream and shout, and you literally get on that pitch and you just go, I'm going to do anything I can to make these guys happy. And so that's what I'm going to plan on doing this season, and hopefully that we get a lot of wins at home and away and get promoted, hopefully, fingers crossed.
Welcome to the club again.
Thank you, appreciate it.